Okay, another trade to talk about today, and I have to decide which one's more major, right? So this for me is the second biggest deal of the day because this one surprised me. Now I've been talking about Thomas Tatar all year. That if Detroit could somehow get rid of Thomas Tatar's contract, they're better off. And there have been Red Wing fans who've been like, well, no, Tatar's contract's not that bad, but Detroit has some massive contract issues. They're right up against the cap at all times. They're flirting with being over the cap at all times, and this just doesn't work. So for me, what they did today is nothing short of genius. And I know there's a lot of Red Wing fans who are like, fire Ken Holland. You know what? This was a good move. Thomas Tatar is a $5.3 million cap hit until 2021. Vegas took it. Detroit didn't have to take back a bad contract. Detroit gets the 2018 first round pick of Vegas in a good draft. They get the 2019 second round pick, and they get the 2021 third round pick. They get 3 draft picks, 2 of them very likely to be NHL players, for Thomas Tatar, a guy who I felt all year that Detroit could do without. Now, Tatar is inconsistent, and he's a solid player. I believe he's a solid player, and I think he's underperformed in Detroit this year, and I think he can recover. I think he's young enough to recover and get his career back on track. For me, his contract was a bit expensive, probably by about $1.5 million. And when you're dealing with contracts, here's the thing: you look at Detroit's contracts, and a lot of them are, well, that's probably about $1 million above where it should be. That's probably about a $500,000 above where it should be. This is probably about. But when you do that over and over and over, and you do it through the whole lineup, you're like, wow, that adds up to a lot of money. Actually, that's a lot of cap space they don't have. Detroit right now is doing a good job of building up prospects and draft picks. I think they've got some very good young players, and coming out of this deal, they potentially come out with 3. Holland needs to work some magic at the draft table, which he hasn't done in quite a while. But that being said, getting 3 picks back for Tatar is wizardry. It's pure wizardry. Because Vegas, I'm not sure where Tatar plays in that lineup. I'm not sure who he drops down in the wings, because really Vegas has had so many really solid stories and so many players playing really, really well that for them to add Tatar, who's going to get dropped down? Which player's going to lose ice time? Is that happy feel-good story I had with Ryan Carpenter, is he going to lose ice time now because Tatar's in there? So it'll be interesting to see what Vegas does from here, because Vegas was busier than I'd expected them to be, in that this was actually kind of a big move. And it does take a risk of their future, but because they've got Glass, they've got Suzuki, they've got Brandstrom, they can afford to lose a first-round draft pick this year and a second round next year, because they have extra draft picks too. Extra draft picks that George McPhee acquired last year, knowing darn tootin' well, I guess, that this was what was going to happen. Vegas looks like they want to do more than just have a feel-good story for the regular season. It looks like they want to have that continue into the postseason, and this is a sign they're going for it. So yeah, I don't see a downside for Detroit in this deal. Vegas, it's a risk, but even if Tatar doesn't necessarily play great in Vegas, they've got so many good players right now and so many good stories. And to me, it almost feels like when players go there, they become better players for being there. So again, because I've discussed in previous videos that the pro scouting for Vegas is clearly awesome, because every player they pick up seems to be very good for them. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say they've likely done their scouting on Tatar. They've likely seen a couple of things that they feel that their staff can work on and get him to where he should be. And if they do, Vegas could very well be a dark horse for the Stanley Cup. They have the goaltending. They have solid defense. They have solid. Their offense is pretty good. Tatar's adding another 20 goal scorer to that mix. Maybe they want to do more than just have the best record that a first-year team's ever had. Maybe they want to be the first one that's won a championship. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this trade. If you're a Detroit fan, how do you feel about this? You have to feel good about losing Tatar's contract and getting a little bit of breathing room under the salary cap. There should be some breathing room going forward. And just let me know how you feel about picking up the draft picks you did. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.